Can you guys hear? Okay, I guess we're live. Hello everyone, I am Kartik. I'm Kartik Nijhawan. I'm head of multimedia at News Laundry and been a multimedia producer for more than 4.5 years now, almost completing 5 years. Uh, I've done my bachelor's in journalism, advertisement, and other things, and I've been making videos and podcasts from last 4 years or something. So today I'm gonna be doing live about how to go about making your own vlogs. I'm gonna divide it into 4 stages. Uh, so every video has 3 stages. There is pre-production, there is production, and there is post-production. But I'm adding another one into this. I'm gonna be telling you about the right platforms to upload your videos and how to boost your videos as well. So we'll start with the. I'm gonna keep everything very short. So if you guys have any questions, shoot your questions in the comments. I'll get notifications. You can ask your questions. I'll stop midway and I'll answer your questions, or we can do the questions at the end, or whatever suits you guys best. Okay, so we'll start with the pre-production. So the first thing that you should focus on is that the concept. You should have the concept clear in your head that what exactly do you want to do, what kind of vlog you want to start, what kind of videos you want to make. You really need to think about uh, the kind of videos you want to make and the kind of stuff you want to put out, and like, do you specialize in it, or do you need to read up about it, or do you need to prepare for it? So these things that you need to keep in mind. This is the very first step. Clear the concept. Second, now some videos require scripts and some do not. If you think that you're good in front of a camera, you can talk spontaneously without having anything written. Well, good enough. You just need to put a camera right there, and you can start your vlogs. But if you think that I want to keep it more precise, I want to keep my video short, I want everything to be like scripted, then I guess then you need to work on the script. I think that the script is must if you want the script. And then the third part comes location, studio, backdrop. So that totally depends. Like you can do vlogs from your room. Like right now, I'm sitting in my room. Right, this can be your backdrop. But if you have enough money, you want to invest, you can do a certain kind of setup which reflects the kind of vlogs you do. That can be done. Or you can do outdoor shoots also. Like it depends. Suppose you want to go to a park and shoot, you want to talk to people. That's a separate thing. That totally depends on you. Uh, Next is, I guess that's all that involves the pre-production stage. First is concept. Second is script if required, and third is location, kind of backdrop, kind of studio you need. Now we'll come to the production part. I'm gonna keep it. This is gonna be slightly longer, so let's just start. Okay. So that totally depends on you how you want to. If you have a DSLR camera, which is good, then if you have a DSLR, you already know how to operate it. Then really, I don't need to tell you much. But if you want to start vlogs and you cannot really afford a DSLR camera, I think the best camera right now is the one in your pocket right now, your phone. Right now, iPhones and other phones have really good camera quality. Even if you look at some of the best professional journalism, video journalism being done on iPhones or normal phone cameras. NDTV shoots most of their videos on Samsung Galaxy S9. News Laundry, where I work, we shoot most of our videos with iPhones. So iPhones are really good. So I think, but for iPhone setup, iPhone using an iPhone is a little bit tricky also, because it's not a camera at the end of the day. It's something that it's not a camera at the end of the day. It's just a phone, but which has a good camera. So there are apps available on the either Play Store or the App Store. You can buy apps which give you some basic camera of an iPhone. Doesn't allow you to change a lot. It's basically like either you can just set a focus, uh, Either you can set a focus, or at best you can change the brightness. But there are professional, like there are premium apps available on the app store. You can buy those apps. They can then you can control your camera. Like a lot of features can be controlled by that. You can click on focus. You can check your aperture, and there are a lot of things like the basic things that are available in a DSLR camera. Okay, so for iPhone, no, now I'm going to take it forward from an from a perspective of using an iPhone for vlogging, iPhone or any other phone. Okay, so first of all, what do you need? You need a tripod. So it's available online. You can buy it online. There are a very cheap and light tripods available for phones. Or if you are native of Delhi, then you can go to Chandni Chowk. You must know already. There is this market called Camera Market. You can go and buy your stuff from there. Second, you need if you don't want to do use a tripod, if you don't want to do a normal video, then use selfie stick, which is also not a bad idea. You can also look at yourself while doing it. Uh, there is another thing. Then you need to buy a strong mount. By the way, I'm really getting down to the basics because most of the people don't know this stuff. So I'm sorry if you already know this and I'm making you go through this again. So just buy a tripod, the mount. So there are very cheap mounts available in the market, but most of them are not good enough. Okay, most of them are not good enough. Basically, what happens while you're rolling, once you start rolling and you sit in front of the camera, so your camera slightly moves because the grip of the mount is not strong enough. So that you need to really check that the mount has a strong grip and it lasts quite longer. Okay. Next is just check. Okay, now the lighting part. Lighting is very important. Right now, if you can look at the frame, there is this light at the backdrop. Can you see that tube light? That's the brightest light in my room, but I had to turn it off. I had to keep it turned off because that's against the rule of lighting for camera. You should always have the lighting in front of the object. Like if you're doing it, you should sit against the light. The light should not be in the background. It'll burn the whole frame. It'll burn half of my head. So this is the best example I could think of explaining it. So this is just one thing for lighting. Also, lighting is very important. If you see iPhones and all other phones, they have their limitations. They have their limitations in low light. They can hardly. I mean, I think that the phones are good with shooting if you're shooting outdoors, if you're shooting in natural light. But if you're shooting indoors, you need a lot of lighting. You need a lot of lighting because iPhone now has become the latest iPhones have become really good at low light. Even the Samsung phones have become really good at low light. So I mean, I think choose your lighting wisely. Again, there are a lot of so basically the light to go for is LED light. There are earlier like we used to use like when we started making videos, when we shoot videos with camera, we use a lot of lighting. We use chemos, we use uh, big LED lights. But if you're doing a vlog, don't really need to spend much. Go online or go to the market I mentioned. You'll get a lot of cheap LED lights for somewhere around 1500, 1700. Just put one LED on your face, like right next to your camera, and it should be on your face. The light should come on your face. That'll be good enough if you're starting a vlog. That's what we do. Okay. Also, hmm, but also one thing like shadow is another thing which people ignore the most. Right, your eyes might not catch while you're making the frame, but believe me, it'll look really bad when you look at the footage on the bigger screen. It's very important that the shadows should not be anywhere. Like if you're an object, if you put light on your right side, then your shadow will be on the left side of the frame. So if you but so make sure the light is right in the front. Like it should be right above the camera. So like there are a lot of things that you need to take care while making a frame. Light is one of them. Okay. Also, if you if you choose to shoot outdoors, no, then iPhones work really good. Or any phone. Like I'm saying iPhone again and again because I'm used to shooting with iPhones. I've like done a lot of videos. Like most of the news only videos that you see. Uh, We shot them with iPhone. All the professional shows that we make, everything that you've seen. Uh, okay, next, I'm going very fast. If you guys miss something, you can ask me questions. Okay. Huh. So there's another thing I wanted to mention. Huh. When you so natural lighting is good. Natural lighting is the outdoor lighting, which is the light from sun. It's very good to shoot with iPhones because the kind of depth you get, that that depth can't come in any studio while shooting with phones. Even if you use like heavy LED lights, if you use any kind of lights, that depth will never come. So depth of field, I'll just quickly explain. Depth of field is, you might have seen these latest Chinese phones coming, and they have this feature where they put the fake focus. Right, you click a photo and you select your face to the circle, and everything else behind the person or your face will become blurred. So that's fake depth of field. We've been so basically that generally comes with the good camera like 5D. If you use the 70-200 lens, that you get a really good depth of field. But these Chinese phone have created a fake depth of field. It's a kind of cheating. I don't like it much. It's very fake. But if you shoot outdoors and if you have an iPhone, you get a genuine depth of field. You get a genuine depth of field which looks very good. But there are limitations of shooting outdoors also. There is a certain time. So either you need to shoot early morning when there is light and there is not a lot of sun, or you need to shoot a couple of hours before the sunset. If you shoot in the middle of the day during noon or afternoon period, the sun is so bright. Sometimes even cameras cannot handle the kind of light is out there. So even when we are shooting with our cameras, when we have proper crew with us, we make sure that we schedule our shoots before afternoon and like a couple of hours before the sunset. So these just couple of things. See, basically what happened, like sometimes when we shooting with cameras also, no, you must have noticed this when you step out in the sun, you can hardly see anything on your display. So these are the things that you'll miss on your screen while you're making frames. We miss, like sometimes it happens that's why we carry bigger screens with us when we're shooting with cameras. But you kind of miss that the whole frame is burning because it's too bright. You can't even look at the screen. So this okay. So done with the lighting. I hope you guys understood. Lighting is very very important. Okay. Now next is framing. Okay. So okay. Can you guys see now? Like, can you see the space over my head? This is called headroom. How's this frame looking to you guys? I'm sure it looks pretty bad because there's a lot of headroom, and you see this is empty space, which is of no use to anybody. So we call it headroom. So the headroom has to be perfect in a frame. You cannot leave headroom like this. The headroom should be this much or even lesser than that. This should be the headroom. Okay. Headroom is very important. The frame looks terrible when the headroom is not right, when it's not perfect. Uh, okay. Also, I don't know, like, I can't really tell you much about making a frame because uh, only like I can only recall like two, three things that I can mention right now because I don't know what you guys are trying to do. Framing is always done depending on. I can talk about two, three situations. I can actually talk about two, three situations. Okay. Suppose if you're doing a kind of a sit-in studio kind of setup. Suppose you're sitting like me, right? I'm sitting. So I think you should make this is right now. This is my close-up shot. You can see till here only, till here. This is my close-up shot. So try to keep a close-up shot if you're talking to the camera. If you're talking like right now, what I am doing, I'm talking to you directly. This is Facebook Live. This is the frame which works best. Otherwise, I could have, if it wasn't working best, then I could have just stepped two steps back and I could have made a larger frame that could have been my mid shot, which will not look good. Okay. If you're planning to do like interviews, suppose you want to do vox pops, you can do vox pops with one phone also. The technique is that you make somebody else handle the camera. Okay, make somebody else handle the camera, and then you so basically like you start with a two shot where you and the person you're interviewing is standing in the frame, and then you keep moving. Like keep going from too short to close up to too short to again close up. Depends on who's talking. So that's one way. So that this technique, I figured that this technique works best when you don't have budget for two cameras. So it can actually be done. And so the best part is, so the I don't know whether I should say this or not, because I think most of you don't know how post production works. So one technique to save mistakes from this is that once you're done with the shoot, always take nodis or reactions. What are nodis? When somebody nods, that's noddy. So I'll just, like, suppose my somebody I'm interviewing, I'll just put my camera close up on his, and then I tell him, okay, give me a fake noddy, just do this. Uh, so what I can do later, I can use that fake thing that I've done somewhere, uh, where, uh, where like I don't have the footage, where I've lost his face, my camera was somewhere else. So these kind of things, like, techniques for the post production. Uh, okay, I don't know how are the reactions coming. I don't know whether I'm making any sense to anybody here. What are the comments like? Okay, before we move into next, I think I'm done with the lighting. Okay, sound. So this is my mantra. I always believe this. If something goes wrong with the video, there is always a way to fix it on post production. You can put some kind of effect, you can cheat it, you can do a lot of things. The video can be fixed unless and until your footage is lost. But if something goes wrong with the audio, it cannot be fixed. It will always be fixed at a cost. If there is noise in your video, there are noise cancelers, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of softwares available. But if you put too much of noise cancellation, then the pitch of the videos goes wrong. That happens. So yeah, audio cannot be fixed. That's why audio is most important. I respect audio most because I'm a podcast producer also. So I think audio should be dealt with very, very carefully, very carefully. Okay, so I'll tell you two ways to record audio when you're shooting with iPhones. So once, okay, we're done with your camera. Your iPhone is your camera. Lighting, told you already. Sit against the light. Like right now, since I had to shut down that light, I didn't have enough light on my face. So I turned on my TV with some kind of white screen. That's why I have enough light on my face and you guys can see. Okay. Next, we were talking about sound. Okay. Uh, in the market and on internet, there are a lot of cheap lapels. You know what is a lapel? The mic that we attach to the collar. That's called a lapel. There are a lot of lapel mics available which connect directly to your phones, like with 3.5 mm jack, which is missing from the recent iPhones, but most of the phones have 3.5 mm jack. So these 3.5 mm jack microphones are available in the market for a very cheap price. I remember the one I bought was somewhere around 2,200 bucks, and that connects directly to the phone, gives you great audio quality. I think it's not the best, काम चलाओ. Yeah. And the other way to do it is, if you're thinking of investing money in audio, then I think you should. Who's transcripting? Anyway, so there are a lot of there's this my best favorite. So there are, see, like most of the people, like big production houses, they go to studios when they want to record VOs, when they want to record audio. There are sound mixers. There is guy especially who comes with sound. But there's one device which I love the most. It's called a Zoom recorder. There are 3-4 versions available. The one I use is called Zoom H6, and it comes somewhere around 30,000. And Zoom recorder is the most basic recorder. You cannot control much in it. All you can control is levels, and you can connect 4 mics to it, 4 mics through XLR. Now, people, XLR is like too technical term, but just Google, you'll know what an XLR is. Uh, okay, so Zoom, but the benefit is that Zoom comes with two capsule mics. Capsule mics, yes. So there are two capsule mics which come with the Zoom recorder. One is a unidirectional capsule mic, and another one is a omnidirectional. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too technical here, but I'll explain it. So the best part about using a zoom is that you just put it on record by. So there are two different mini capsules. I'll tell you about that. Uh, okay. So there is one which looks like this. So this is unidirectional. It'll capture audio only coming from this side or this side. This is unidirectional. And there is another capsule which is omnidirectional. So just put the omnidirectional, put a air guard, and just keep it next to you. Increase the audio level or levels so that it captures from your far. So basically what you do, like if I'm talking here where my laptop is, I'll keep my zoom here. I'll try to hide it from my frame, but I'll keep it somewhere here so that it can capture my audio. If you don't see, basically the label that you connect to a zoom recorder is very expensive. I remember the Sennheiser Z3, G3 or G4, they come around 60 to 70,000 each, and you need to. So I don't know. That's not a good investment according to me. So yeah, if you have a Zoom recorder, you're set. You can ask me questions about Zoom recorder. It's getting too technical, but I think it's important that I mention all of these. I need to give you guys options. I can't just leave you with one option. You should be allowed to choose. Okay, so sound is sorted. Or also make sure this is very old school technique, but now there are softwares available in post production. Okay, so you must have seen whenever in a film there is a shot is a scene is shown where a movie shoot is going. So they always have a clapper, right? So why that clap is done? Because software, when you put the footage and audio through the software, that takes both the things separately. You need to sync them. You need to sync your audio with your video. Only then your video makes sense. Also, you need to, this I should have mentioned earlier. So the basic frame rate, the fixed frame rate that we use for videos is 25 frames per second. And that should be the audio also. So if you record your audio at 24 frames per second, that will not sync with your video. It'll sync in the beginning, but as the per second per frame difference will be increasing, it'll get out of sync. So that's why you need to make sure that, see, iPhones, the problem is that iPhones do not shoot on 25 frames per second. iPhones shoot on 30 frames per second at 1080p. So what we do, we need to convert the footage to 25 frames per second. So this is getting a lot. This is getting too technical for you guys. But I think we'll come through this because I have planned everything. Like if I'm saying something right now which doesn't make any sense, it'll make sense later. So remember, 25 frames per second is standard. That's how it should be. Okay. How many people are watching here? Okay. Okay. Cool. Sound is done. Record your sound. Sorry, I was talking about the clap, right? Okay, so clap is important. Although there are softwares now, there is one software called Plural Key. Yes, that is the software which syncs your audio to video even if you don't do a clap. But it's not so advanced, so it misses sometimes. So make sure once you roll your camera and audio, make sure you give a clap because you might not have that fancy clapper. So just do a clap in front of the camera. Your clap should be visible inside in your frame, and the audio and your clap should be near your microphone so that you can capture the audio. This is important. Also, always, this is one rule that nobody likes to follow. There is something called pre-roll and there is something called post-roll. Once you roll the cameras, do not start immediately that, okay, click, oh, hi, I'm here, right? No, give it 3 seconds, always. Because once you're editing the video, you realize that the moment you clapped, you started saying stuff and the clap was still in the frame. That you did not even give it enough time so the hand can go out of the frame. So these are the basic things that you will encounter when you're editing the video. So I'm just telling you these because so that your life at post-production becomes much easier. You just need to do the basic stuff and your video is ready. Okay, and so this is done, I guess. Just make sure that you do clap. And post roll is that you give 3 second pause after you're done doing your piece to camera or whatever you're doing, so that again the video editor gets enough time to find a perfect cut. Okay. Next, now we'll move towards post production, my favorite part. Okay, okay. Let's do post production now. What all do you need for post production? A decent laptop, or what I'll prefer is a MacBook. A decent Mac, yeah, MacBook is good enough. And there are a lot of editing softwares available out there. The ones that I use, we use either Final Cut Pro 7, which is very outdated now, or the latest we use is Adobe Premiere Pro. So that depends, like which software you find it easy. And I cannot really teach you the basics of the software here. So what I can say is go to YouTube. There are a lot of tutorial videos. Learn the software. The editing software is very easy. The hardest thing to learn is to learn the keys, the shortcuts from the keyboard. Once you do that, your editing speed increases. But the basics of the software can be learned from YouTube. And not that I also learned same way kind of. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. I think it's been 28 minutes. I don't really think I'll go. Okay. Uh, Post production, another thing, the packaging of the video matters a lot. Have you ever seen Doordarshan videos? Doordarshan videos have a style of coming, like that very old school kind of title coming, right? The cameras are not updated, the footage is like not very, the depth of field is not there. So the whole packaging of a video. So that's why people do not watch Doordarshan. Like those people who have the option to watch other channels, they do not watch Doordarshan. So packaging matters a lot. So make sure. So for that, what is packaging? Packaging is basically like graphics and all. So for that, you'll need to learn more software. So if you know the basic Photoshop, you're good to go. But not, then you'll need to learn After Effects also. So I think if you're doing vlogging, you really don't need to invest much. Just make sure that you shoot your video well and you have good content. The content matters the most. And packaging like can improve with time. You can spend time improving packaging once you have your blog live. Okay. Next. Okay. Now the most important part. We come to the platform and how to promote it. Okay. So either you can choose to upload your video. See, I think YouTube is the best platform to upload your YouTube videos. But given that Facebook has also come into the market of videos, now what ends up happening is that Facebook videos are prioritized more on your news feed than the YouTube videos. So you can keep your YouTube channel, create your YouTube channel, keep uploading your videos there, get more and more subscribers. So the benefit of getting more subscribers is that you ask people to subscribe so that every time I put up a video, people get a notification on the devices, not on your MacBooks or laptops, but people get notifications on iPads, iPhones, or Android phones, whatever. So, but the other way to go is just follow this one channel on not channel on Facebook. There is this page called Nas Daily. This guy makes one video every day. He travels around the world, one video every day, and the duration of the video is just 1 minute. I love his vlogs. I love his videos because the short, crisp, packaged well, shot well. This guy carries a lot of equipment along with him. He has professional camera, he has a drone, he has trackers, he has a lot of things. So he always like his packaging is fixed. He doesn't change his packaging every day. His packaging is fixed, but his videos, the content and the way he does it, it's very inspiring. Like everybody should look at Nas Daily. It's very good content. Again, like make a YouTube page about your blog. Sorry, Facebook page about your blog. Start uploading your videos. Start uploading videos as native on Facebook. And if you, the best way to promote it is to share it with your friends. Start tagging people in the comments. Send it to everybody on WhatsApp. Once you start getting enough traction, then you'll keep building your audience slowly. When people start sharing your video, always ask people to share videos at the end of the video. There should be an appeal. In YouTube, you get options to either put more videos so that people can watch another videos after they finish watching one. On Facebook, that option is not there. We on YouTube we call that end screens. Facebook doesn't have any that feature. So the term that we use for Facebook videos is we call it call to action. We ask people to do something. Either we ask them to like our Facebook page, or we ask them to share the video, or we ask them to comment. So this is called call to action. On Facebook, the call to action should always be there. Make sure you record it separately and put it there. It should look differently from the rest of the video, because, or the sound should be different, because it's very important that people notice your call to action. And if it is the same, if it's going in the same flow of the same video, people, there is a chance that people might not focus on it. But if you want people to focus on it, make sure it's shot separately. There is the music is different, or just don't put any music. Just look at how people do call to action. Just look at if you follow like AIB or you follow TVF, they do call to action on YouTube also. Where where they come and say, "Hi guys, if you like our videos, please share it, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and all that jazz." So that's called call to action. And I guess right now the thing is that if you start as a new YouTuber, you need to spend a lot of time to get your YouTube videos popular on your Facebook or Twitter. If you have a Twitter following, that's a separate thing. But if not, then I guess the best way to go about is make a Facebook page, start uploading your videos natively, that and start putting in little bit money also. Start boosting your videos. That gives you good boost to find new audience. And once people are hooked to your content, they'll anyway share it. I think that's all. So do we have any questions? Let's see. I think there are no questions. I think there are no questions. So I should stop this. Should I not? Meanwhile, since the team is searching for questions, uh, there's another tip that I want to give you guys, that make sure that you keep doing lives. So now, so Facebook started a live. YouTube also came later, but start doing lives on Facebook. And so what live does, live, so suppose like 100 people likes your Facebook page. And if they have, so once you go live, Facebook sends a notification to them on their devices. So that's a good way of building audience. The more lives you do, the more audience, the more traction it gets. So I think lives are important, because and it's always like important to interact with your audience, like people who like to watch your stuff. It's always important, because what happens is that when you interact with audience, the great ideas come up, because they are the people who are consuming your content. They want it to be a certain way, and if you start making it that way they want, I'm sure you'll get success. What we at News Naughty do, like, uh, we have a podcast called Anahafta, which we started like a couple of years back. We just put out the 184th episode. It's a weekly show. So there was this one letter which had come one day. It came to me because I'm the producer. So it was a long letter criticizing a show, but one part of the discussion that the lady didn't like. So I went to Abhinandan, who's my boss and the host of the show. I said, "This is the letter. I think we should read it out." Uh, and we read that out, and then that became a tradition. Now we get like almost 10 to 12. And we told people that it's important that you write to us so that we improve ourselves. And we welcome your ideas. And so then, since then, people have been writing to us, and we get like now somewhere around 8 to 10 letters every week, and we choose 3 or 4 to read. Depends on there is no perfect way of choosing letters, but the best letters are chosen, and we reply to them. We read them out, and we reply to them. So I think interaction with your audience is must. I think that's all. If you guys, I think there are no questions asked. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you guys got to learn. Uh, Hope to see you vlog soon.